One. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for Oakland Creates Exhibitor Spotlight. Today I have Hope with Gutwrench Press. So first I'm going to ask you your pronouns and then just tell us a little bit about your association with Oakland. And then, so just let us know your pronouns and how you are related to Oakland
All
or
right.
The Bay Area.
Sure. My name is Hope of Gutwrench Press. I use she, her pronouns. I live in Portland, Oregon since last March. I lived in Oakland from 2012 to 2016. I moved there right after school. I went to school for letterpress printing, well, for printing, and I'm a letterpress printer. And so I was in Oakland working in different press shops and going to zine fests. And I really started making more zines when I moved back there, or when I moved there for a few years.
So I read a little bit about Gut Wrench Press, but tell me, your mission and what it's all about. I was really impressed by your sort of mission to give back and to each one teach one sort of thing. So tell us a little bit more
Mhm.
about it, please.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm really interested in, I've always had pen pals and I've written zines for a long time. So I've really been interested in that kind of exchange and connecting personally with people. And I print a lot of stationery and postcards. I've never really printed holiday or occasion cards, or the things that lots of letterpress printers do. I've been more interested in just getting people excited about writing every day. And
Nice.
then I've had a lot of fundraisers in the past, sporadic and not uh, never a regular fundraiser. And then starting in maybe June of this year, I've started choosing a different organization every month to give a portion of my sales to. So I'll put something special on sale. Like one month I had a whole lot of collage work and I sold that and gave, I think, I can't remember what percentage, but maybe 50% of each sale went to an organization. Um, and always, I have a postcard subscription called Keep Writing, and then a portion of that always goes to whatever I'm raising money for this month.
And I did read that you make classes more accessible to different income brackets too. So I really appreciate that as well.
We,
So
yeah, I
tell
have. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go right ahead.
Yeah, I offer. So there's a set price, but then it's hard to offer sliding scale on the internet. But I have kind of a notes to myself where if I have so many paid students, then I can offer like for every 2 or 3 paid students, I can offer a discount, or I can always offer a payment plan. And I've had one student recently who's just been paying for an extra spot every time. And so I
Nice.
advertise that as just, it's already paid for and anyone can take it.
Very cool. Also tell me a little bit about your art practice in terms of your influence, what informs your work, and where your inspiration comes from.
I just started getting back into collage and realizing that uh, the more I do it, the more I think of it rather than just like a medium, as a process. So I really like taking bits from all sorts of different places and kind of assembling into different things, whether that's a zine or visual art or postcards or a different project. So I really am drawn, like different ideas of excuse me, different kind of projects, like social practice projects where people really like to interact with other people and asking people what they think, and not just polls, but giving people some room to kind of think about things a little differently.
And where does your taste in imagery comes from? I feel like I see a lot of vintage and not only vintage photographs of people, but like materials and fabrics and really interesting older like baroque or oh god, what, not even textile, but like just the aesthetic is really sort of more elegant than you typically think of letterpress. Like that's pretty clean and
Hmm.
straightforward, but you seem
Hmm.
to in interpret what things that are um not contrasty, but I would think like they don't necessarily straight fit together, right? And then you collage
Hmm.
them in a way that it's almost seamless. And talk a little bit about that, like what your aesthetic in and where that comes from.
Sure. I think that I think it comes from the process. Like didn't I didn't go to school for printing until I was in my 30s. So I already had like more than 10 years of making zines, doing a lot of cut and paste and things by hand, and just not knowing there was other ways to do things. And then going to school and being exposed to a bunch of different techniques and different kinds of artwork, and just trying to use what I liked from each bit and trying to kind of get them to work together, um, all under the idea that I like printing. And I think that that's a really uh, convenient way for me, because I bought a press and I like printing, that I can make hundreds and hundreds of something. So I can kind of make this like interesting uh, single piece and then be able to give it to lots of people. I
Right.
definitely, when I was younger, was really into Joseph Cornell and that kind of like assemblage, not
Right.
just collage, but like collecting small bits of stuff. And I always have lots of stuff around me and lots of stuff in my car and my house and my room, my pockets.
Right. And I picked up on that. You typically don't find that kind of modality or that type of technique in printing because, like you said, you can print several of them. And so, what makes something like that unique usually is found in being able to, touch it or, uh, I don't know. It's fascinating that you're able to capture that in printing, which you normally don't see. So I
Thanks.
appreciate that. So also just have a couple of silly questions. If
Mhm.
you could only eat three foods for the rest of your life, what three foods would they be?
Oh man, ice cream,
Nice.
chocolate cake, uh, and barbecue. Maybe tofu. I just started eating meat a couple of years, but some kind of like barbecue meat or meat substitute. But if
Awesome.
it could only be one forever, I would go tofu over meat.
Tofu. Awesome. And then and then the next one, if you were stranded on a desert island and you weren't gonna ever get off, what three people would you bring with you? Could
Oh
be
man.
celebrity, alive,
Uh,
dead, family, your pet. It's just three
oh man.
sentient beings.
Geez. Let's see. That one, you're totally stumping me. I feel like after months of isolation, I would want somebody who can hold a good conversation, somebody who's good at being quiet, and
That's key.
and and somebody who's good at listening. But I don't know who those people are.
That's awesome. It's typically not the same person.
Yeah. My partner is really good at talking and really good at telling stories and good at listening. We've been doing all right for the past, however, 9 months. So
Okay. So you don't have
I don't know.
two others.
I
Okay.
don't somebody who's quiet and a good. I don't know. My mind is totally blank. So,
Any celebrities that you think you might want to bring with you?
I don't know. I feel like people are surprising. You think you want to listen to them talk, and then maybe you don't.
Totally. Oh my gosh. I've had that experience too. So yeah, might not want to say it, right? Might no, I've had that experience where you thought someone was super cool and then you're like, "Oh, they talked and not so much."
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out. Let me ask you a few questions. Do you have social media that you want to shout out so people can find you online?
Yes, I'm on Instagram at Gutwrench Press, and information about all my collage work and letterpress printing and
Nice.
my Keep Writing project are all at gutwrenchpress.com.
Sweet. Thanks again and thanks for watching everybody.